Earlier this week, we heard what the Chattanooga Fire Department wants and needs from the newly elected mayor, Tim Kelly.
Well, News 12's Brian Armstrong spoke to Kelly's chief of staff about what the mayor's office intends to do. He has tonight's top local story.
It's a great relationship. They really stepped up during the campaign and supported Tim Kelly as a candidate.
Under previous city mayor Andy Burke, the Chattanooga Fire Department had an independent study done that showed they were significantly underpaid compared to cities like Huntsville, Nashville, and Memphis.
We also need to make sure that they're paid competitively. And when we look at other similar cities, we have some issues there, and we know that we need to make some corrections.
Kelly's chief of staff, Brent Goldberg, says working with the city's fire department is very important. The office is currently looking into what it can do within the city's current budget.
And I've had a couple of conversations with the president of the association since Tim Kelly took office. And, you know, it's all about communication and listening and making sure that we both understand where we are and how to get to the common solution.
He says the office wants to put the Chattanooga Fire Department in the best position to be able to serve the city.
We have to make sure that all of our firefighters are always safe, right? So before we talk about salaries, we need to make sure that they all have the equipment that they need to be safe, to be properly trained, and to do the job that they do.
Goldberg says a pay raise for the fire department does have to happen, but it's not an overnight process, and there are steps that need to be made.
They understand that this is not something that can happen overnight, and they are willing to find ways to do this over time. But the key is that we have to have a plan in place that we communicate to everyone and set expectations for everyone. Because if we just increase the minimum pay, then that's not exactly fair for people that have been here for 20 years that also are in a pay range that's not competitive.
He says a raise in taxes is a last resort, and they aren't at the phase where they need to be looking to raise money.
We don't plan on doing anything to raise revenue right now. Well, if there are things in the budget that could be repurposed for more return on investment to taxpayers, we certainly want to do that before we start looking at any kind of additional revenue.
Brian Armstrong, News 12 Now.